Bradford from Parker, Colorado. Paul, I'm not yet at the level of having XLR for a truly balanced system, so I'm still down with the plebes at RCA interconnects. Do-it-yourself cable videos keep pointing to a shielded, twisted pair. But research suggests twisted cables might offer no benefit and could be worse than plain coaxial, especially for RCA. Where there's apparently no benefit from twisted or braided cables at all. Am I missing something? Are a bunch of RCA interconnects with twisted cables offering little to no benefit and potentially worse performance than plain RG59 solid core copper? Well, they won't be nothing, and a twisted pair, well, let's talk about it. Okay, so if we have two wires and they are in a shielded cable, well, even without the shielded cable, let's just talk about the two wires themselves. Okay, you got two wires and they're going down the road together. Well, they've got a coupling problem. There's an inductance problem, and because if we remember that two wires going in parallel couple in a way that isn't beneficial to the sound. That's probably an easier way without getting way too technical, okay? And one of the things we can do to break that problem up, there's capacitance, there's all kinds of things going on that are not necessarily great things, we can twist them, right? We can then take that even further and we can braid them so that they are at true right angles, and that helps quite a bit. Ray Kimber at Kimber Cable has made his entire company off the idea of an 8-wire braid or a 4-wire braid. So braiding is even better than twisted pair. But twisted pair does have an advantage that straight wires don't. And like everything in engineering, and this is something you'll hear me harping about time and time again, there is no free lunch. You got to pay. So when we do this, we get that, and we lose this. It's just the nature of things. Now, the idea in engineering is to pick the best solution with the least amount of trouble, right? That's what we do. So even if it's this board, look at that, I forgot those things just turn on. These, by the way, no sound goes through these. So when we turn these up and down, we are doing it electronically and no sound actually goes through the board. It's like a big mouse and everything is actually in the box. So that is a big advantage. But then we have trouble, because since it's in the box, everything is done digitally, where on a mixing board, maybe these are all analog. And then you have a little bit better sound, but then you have the degradation of the analog. I mean, it's always a juggling act. And you try in engineering to juggle with the least number of weaknesses and the most strengths. So in general, I would say that you're better off twisting the cable than not. And you might find that you don't need to shield it if you twist the cable. You might try that, because shielding also has a problem, which, real quick, you don't want the shield too close to the wires. So you'll notice that a lot of high-end audio cables are kind of fat. Well, they're not fat full of copper. They're fat full of insulating material between the conductors and the outer shield to pull that shield away. If the shield was this far away, it would do its work, but it wouldn't interfere with the conductors, if that makes sense. So, but it's got to be practical. It can't be the size of your leg. So, okay, I hope that makes sense. All right, bye.